Speaking of Bound for Glory, Impact Wrestling has their biggest show of the year this Sunday, emanating from Ottawa, Canada, the 2017 installment. So I'll give my quick predictions for the pay-per-view, starting with the aforementioned James Storm teaming up with Eddie Edwards and Ethan Carter III as Team Impact, taking on Team AAA, El Hijo del Fantasma, Pagano, and Tejano. Gotta go Team Impact here. I mean, how do you not have your own homegrown guys go over in this match? I guess they could have Team AAA go over to further that relationship, but I figured that when these guys were brought in, it was only on a short-term deal, so I imagine Team Impact wins here. Rosemary versus Taya Valkyrie in a red wedding match, which I would assume is a first blood match. They kind of teased that on a recent episode of Impact after their initial encounter, which was won by Taya, which is why I think that Rosemary is winning this one. Abyss taking on Grado in a Monsters Ball match with James Mitchell by Abyss's side, which is really cool. His old manager from a long-ass time ago, about 10 years ago, but it's cool to see him back. The stipulation being that if Grado loses, his work visa will be terminated and he must leave the United States. So, unless he's the latest person gone from the company, I think Grado wins here by some miracle. Moose and Stephen Bonner versus King Mo and Lashley in a 6 sides of steel tag team match. I guess they could have Lashley and King Mo win, but King Mo, or I guess he could get pinned here. I guess you can escape. I don't really know. But I do think the babyfaces win. Moose and Bonner pick up the victory in this match. A 3-way Knockouts Championship match between Sienna, Allie, and Gail Kim. Gail Kim has hinted that her career is coming to an end sooner rather than later. I guess they could give her the championship on the way out, but didn't they tell a similar story last year, though, when she beat Maria for the belt? And then she dropped the belt like 2 months later. So what was even the point, you know? And it is in her native Canada. I'll say Gail Kim wins. I don't really need to see her as champion again. I like Gail Kim, but it's like we saw the same thing last year. So I think they'll give her one last run as champion before she retires. So I think Gail Kim wins. I didn't even mention the other two. It's Allie and Sienna. So I guess Allie could win. She's from Canada too, but I think Gail Kim is picking up the victory here. For the Impact World Tag Team titles, it's a 51-50 street fight between the defending champions Ohio versus Everything, OVE, and the Latin American Exchange, LAX. I don't know why they took the belts off LAX to begin with. They were so hot, and they still are. They're a hot act. Why would you take the titles off them? OVE, they're fine. They just do nothing for me. They just bore me to tears. So I think LAX wins here. It's their own stipulation. I'd be shocked if they didn't win. I do think they do pick up the win here and regain the tag titles. Trevor Lee, Desmond Xavier, Garza Jr., Matt Sydal, Petey Williams, and Sanjay Dutt in a 6-way match for the X Division Championship. One of those matches that has no storyline support and was just randomly thrown on the card. Of all these guys, Sanjay Dutt was already champion. Matt Sydal, I could see him picking up the win. Trevor Lee, I doubt would retain, but I guess I could see that happening. Desmond Xavier, they've done nothing with recently. Garza Jr.'s gotten more of a push. I'll go with Petey Williams for the same reason I went with Gail Kim, just because he's from Canada, and he has yet to regain the gold since being back in Impact, so I'll say Petey wins here. And then the main event, Eli Drake versus Johnny Impact for the Impact Global Championship. I think Impact wins here. Johnny Impact, I hate the fact they called him Johnny Impact because it's so fucking confusing, but they already had a match in Impact a few months ago. I think the Victory Road edition of Impact Wrestling, and Drake won with interference from Adonis. So I think Adonis either gets knocked out here early on or he's banned from ringside. You have the same match with the same finish. That makes no sense. I love Eli Drake. I would love for Drake to win here. I don't think he is, and I like Johnny Impact, but it just kind of goes to show that Impact is going to put over the new guys over their homegrown talent over and over and over again. But anyway, I think Impact will win the championship here, and also Alberto El Patron will be back at Bound for Glory. What he has in store, I have no idea, and honestly, I don't care.